And the water crisis almost immediately produced some new legislation to try to make sure it would not happen again. Bob Aaron says while those safety requirements have been watered down over the years, they're still better than what was in place a decade ago.
The discovery of Freedom Industries' chemical leak 10 years ago Tuesday showed both the need to learn more about the health effects of chemicals like MCHM and to regulate storage tanks, especially those near water intakes. About 300,000 people were left without safe tap water for days. Freedom Industries had an 11,000-gallon leak of cold cleaning chemicals that made more than 300 people sick, a breached containment system, and a safety attitude problem. 10 years ago, the screw-up at Freedom Industries was off the chart. If you have 2 bags of kitty litter at your house, you're better prepared than they were to deal with a chemical emergency. They only had a single bag of absorbent. Before it was over, a half a dozen Freedom executives in the company would face federal charges, and there'd be a $151 million civil settlement. And the West Virginia legislature would pass tougher laws and then back off of them. The Above Ground Storage Act, passed about 2 months after the spill was detected, required registration, inspection, and spill protection at thousands of tanks.
Unfortunately, we've seen that bill get whittled down significantly. I think when it passed, it covered about 50,000 tanks, but now today, there's only about 1/10 of those tanks that are covered at about 5,000 tanks. So it's really concerning to me.
That's absolutely a concern of ours. We have heard that there likely will not be movement on this legislation this year, and we're really hopeful of that because we want to make sure to maintain the protections that are still in place. We had protections in place that were unanimously passed with the Above Ground Storage Tank Act, and we want to make sure to keep as many protections in place and continue to make sure that a crisis like this never takes place again.
How much damage did this do to the city?
It's incalculable because of the city's brand was so damaged. And I believe there are people that still are aware of this, and it might affect whether they would come here.
The tanks and the MCHM are long gone from close proximity to a critical water intake, and there are at least some inspection requirements for large above-ground tanks in areas of critical concern based on their closeness to water intakes that were not there when the water crisis hit 10 years ago. In Charleston, Bob Aaron, Eyewitness News.
Bob, thank you. And while there hasn't been a repeat of the water crisis, water safety issues, including so-called forever chemicals in several communities, lead in Clarksburg distribution system, and dry cleaning chemicals in Patton City's water supply have raised safety concerns. Thanks so much for watching. Here's another video from Eyewitness News. Just click right here to subscribe to our channel and make sure you hit that bell notification to get the very latest.